Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, at the request of subscriber Dan, I am playing a deck that he calls Colorless Storm. This is a kind of now classic, like, it's tier 2.5, tier 3, or beyond. Like, this is not a main meta deck, but the Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, Grim Monolith, Manifold Key, Power Out Karn, and Mystic Forge. This engine is pretty well established as a thing that exists in the Legacy metagame. And what this deck is trying to do a little differently is it genuinely is storming out with Aetherflux Reservoir and using Paradox Engine to help it get there. It seems strange to say the stock list because it's such a weird deck, but the expected deck, if I see this, kind of goes just enough to Karn plus Lattice or lock the opponent out in some sort of way. It usually doesn't go all the way up into I'm actually gonna 50 you in one turn if I get any sort of traction. And Ugin the Ineffable in this deck, making spells cost 2 less. You actually have like a Ruby Medallion sort of effect going on here. Cards start to be free. When your cards are free and you have anything that taps for mana and a Paradox Engine, then your cards actually make mana when you cast them. And as long as you can keep things going with Mystic Forge, you can rip through your whole deck and deal tons of damage with Aetherflux Reservoir to people, while still maintaining the ability to just do just enough, make 10 mana to Karn plus Lattice, and lock folks out that way. Underneath all of it, Chalice of the Void, Urza Saga, two best friends, two of the best ways in Legacy to leverage an Ancient Tomb. Deck's got both of them. Urza's Workshop making an appearance. I've goofed around with this card a few times, and honestly, every time I've played this card, the deck was pretty good. And I hope it holds up here. The one thing in this list that I'm suspicious of is we don't have a Mystic Forge in the Karn package, which I kind of understand, and I'm also kind of worried about. On the one hand, it's by having all your Mystic Forges in the main, then you have the highest density of busted things to do on 4 mana. Whereas if one's in your sideboard, then you just have 7 instead of 8 things to do to get the ball rolling. But Karn not being able to wish for Mystic Forge means that it's hard to storm out if Karn is the end of your chain. But if Karn's the end of your chain, then maybe like Ensnaring Bridge plus Lattice will just win the game anyway, and you don't actually need to storm out once you have Karn. That's the only source of deck building tension I see here. But one of the things that I tell my coaching clients and people come to me with deck building decisions is make sure your deck does the core thing that it's supposed to do before you start planning for contingencies and corner cases. And just maxing out on these busted 4-drops in the main deck does fit that criteria, so I appreciate the discipline here of not getting too cute with the Karn package. We'll see if that bites us, but everything else here makes a lot of sense, and I've played a few colorless decks like this on the channel before. None of them go quite so big as Aetherflux Reservoir and Paradox Engine, and I'm very excited about it. Let's do this. This is Colorless Storm from Dan. I'm on the draw for round 1 against Alex West, who is known for his Yorion Urza Affinity deck, a blue-white pile of cards, and my deck has 1 Mox Opal in it and no baubles of any kind. This Chalice on 0 might be a banger. I'm going to keep. It's kind of slow, but Chalice on 0 could be great. Please Chalice on 1 me. I barely care about that. Breathing Needle. Okay. Wild. Name Flooded Strand, please. What do you name in the Dark Against Me? Oh, you probably just name Wasteland because that's correct for your deck and you care about it? Yeah, okay. That's the one. There will be no Wastelands coming from me here. Inventor's Fair. Urza's Workshop, kind of a banger, and I'm going to Chalice on 0. This messes with them way more than it messes with me. Orion in hand, okay. That could be padding up a Force of Will, or it could just be nothing else to do with the mana. Grim Monolith, that's a good draw. Okay, Inventor's Fair. Because I'll have Metalcraft for Urza's Workshop next turn. And just want to put this Grim Monolith into play. And then I can try to go completely apeshit next turn. Let's see what happens. I mean, my opponent is a Force of Will deck and a confirmed blue card in hand in the Yorion. We'll see what happens here. They could even like play Yorion now, Flicker Pithing Needle onto something relevant. Sounds pretty bad, but it is a object on the battlefield. If there's nothing else coming. Oh, Kappa Cannoneer, okay. Just presenting the clock. I respect it. Okay, I could make a completely ham bananas amount of mana this turn. Chalice on 0. Unfortunately, my first Chalice counters my second Chalice. Okay, so Grim Monolith. If I Chalice on 1, then Urza's Workshops tap for 2 each, because I have Metalcraft and they are each Urza lands. I'm going to play Chalice on 1 here, or I could go for the Paradox Engine and then save Chalice on 0 as an untap effect. You know, I think I need to get my Workshops online before anything else happens. But in that case, wouldn't I rather cast Ballista? Yeah. This card wins the game if it sits in play long enough with my mana engine. I just had to decide which 0 I'd rather yeet later on. And if they force this, okay. It looks like they're trying to tempo me out, which clears the launch pad for Chalice on 1, Mystic Forge. Chalice on 1, Urza's Workshop, Mystic Forge, and another Mystic Forge on top of my deck. I probably don't want that, but I'm just going to hope that Kappa doesn't kill me right now. And they kept Yorion in hand, pitching Urza. I guess they are playing on mono white over there. They pass the turn. I don't think they're going to put 15 artifacts into play and kill me right now. Feathersworn Canonist. Guess what all my cards are? They're artifacts. I am taking 6, and I think I am going to exile this Mystic Forge from the top of my deck. It's not a card I want to draw. So having 2 of them with Paradox Engine makes it really hard to brick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, but I need to get the first trigger first. Yeah, I need to find something cheaper than this. But there's that one. I mean, that one is cool, though. I gain a life. Draw for turn. Blast Zone on top of the deck. Not great. I'm going to activate Mystic Forge. Come on, show me a 0. Or I'll take a 1. Cool. Okay. If I 1, 2, 3, 4, Thran Dynamo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to play Thespian Stage first. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Paradox Engine. Or are you sandbagging a second force? No. Okay. My key's going to get countered, but I get to untap Grim Monolith and Mystic Forge. 6, 7, 8. I think I can afford to forge again. I'd love to find another Grim Monolith and just rip. Oh my god! Speak it into existence. And a card on top of the deck. This is looking good, team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thran Dynamo from hand. This is just more mana when Karn shows up. Untap all my things. The Planeswalkers are susceptible to Aethersworn Canonist, so I just have to be careful about that. I also have to be careful about tapping my Mystic Forge instead of my Grim Monolith, which I almost did. And there's a trick here. Okay, there's just scooping to Karn with zillions of mana. There's a trick here. Karn was on top of my deck. The Paradox Engine triggers, and I now see Saga on top of my deck. So I can exile that with Mystic Forge now before I get the untap and dig an extra card deeper. Got the scoop anyway, but that was sweet. Going way over the top of the artifact mirror with the Karn build of the same thing. Hey, my opponent is an attacking deck, so I can bring in one of the ensnaring bridges. I'll leave the other one in the Karn package just in case. And it means I have to cut a card. Chalice of the Void medium in this matchup, I would say. It's helpful for getting Metalcraft, but I only have 4 cards in my deck that care about that, or 5 cards in my deck. The 4 Workshops and the Mox Opal. Okay, I'm cool with where we are right now. Okay, I have a accelerated Karn situation here. I'm going to keep. Esper Sentinel does obliterate this hand. Please don't have it. Okay. Now I have to decide if I want to play slow or just let them have cards and play fast. I think I want to play slow. Well, so they end up drawing a card because I didn't play, but then they get a turn anyway. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm going to slow it down. Try not to feed the Esper Sentinel too much. I'm ultimately a force check deck, and letting them draw too many cards is a bad check on force. Walking Ballista, what's up, buddy? I'll take you right now. This clears the Esper Sentinel. Like, I could have played Grim Monolith, given them 1 card off Sentinel, and then played Key and Karn or Forge all at once, because Sentinel only triggers once, but I could also just, now that I've drawn Ballista, give them 0 cards and do it all next turn. I'm just going to block. My plan is to kill this thing anyway, and just going into combat here skips any tricks, or if they have some way to buff it, I don't know. Just play around what you can play around. It's easy. Okay, is there any reason to save a land drop? Expedition Map is in my hand. That's a reason to save a land drop. I can't play around Spell Pierce anyway. I don't think they're a Daze deck. Alright, I'm going in with Monolith. And Monolith, make a Key. Then Opal is extra mana. Untap Monolith. 1, 2, 3. Mystic Forge or Karn. Probably Karn. They literally have Seed of the Synod in play right now. Yeah, this is a huge force check, and they did have it. Pass the check. And Expedition Map is my follow-up. Then, gonna take some damage from Constructs here. They get to tutor up something, probably Pithing Needle, like name Manifold Key, cut off a bunch of my engine. And we'll see. I don't know all the nuances of their deck or how they would attack a deck like mine. But I'm certainly not interested in getting Pithing Needled here. If they get it, I'll be bummed. Manifold Key. Okay, yep, that was the correct thing to name. Disappointed. Opponent, I thought we were cool, but apparently we're not. I rescind my invitation to my birthday party. Okie dokie. Mystic Forge is going to have to win this game now. Versus Saga, not a bad card. 10 damage in play, that's not quite lethal. Let's shove this card and see what happens. Versus Workshop on top of my deck. I don't really have zeros I'd want to play. And Workshop does make a bunch of mana next turn. I don't have to make this decision right now either. I can play Saga and pass. They have 12 onboard damage that I can see. So activating Forge would put me to 1. And if they play any artifact, I lose. What are the chances they have an artifact in the artifact deck? Oh, that's pretty good, it turns out. There's one. Are they going to see the obvious line to put 2 extra damage into play? Indeed they are. Okay. I always trust a deck specialist to know what their deck does. Now I get to do one on the play. Don't think anything changes about my plan. And I could just bring in another Ballista. But what am I cutting? Is there anything I would needle in their deck that I care about? Like Urza? And they can't flip stuff? I kind of like Ballista being a check on Esper Sentinel, which is a card that I hate. Let's go. Yikes. This hand is barely functioning, but it is in there. Is it in there, though? Okay, so if I go Saga, Key, Opal... No, I would need to draw another land. Or Chalice on 0 gets me into Opal. Oh, I'm in for this. Dangerous, but I think it's there. It's there enough, as much as it needs to be. Opponent mull to 6, Urza Saga, Mox Opal, Chalice on 0, Manifold Key. Alright, this is enough to get Grim Monolith into play next turn with multiple keys. Hey, go. I hope you kept a handful of Lotus Petals. Island, go. Okay. I like it. I'd like to draw a land even more. Another Manifold Key. Okay. Moment of truth. Here we go. If this resolves, I'm cooking. Nice. Play another key. Untap Grim Monolith. Play another, or untap with key. 6 in the pool. Paradox Engine on the stack. And play another key to untap all my stuff. I mean, that's all I get. That's the whole turn. But my engine's online, Saga's in play. I can make a Fudgenormous Construct in my draw step. And then tutor something. Expedition Map gets Inventor's Fair, which gets Mystic Forge, and then we rip. Oh yeah, they see the line. Not coming back from that. GG's. On to the next round.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the draw in round 2 against a Gigantha the Wellspring strategy. Did I accidentally queue into Modern? Yorion last round, Jeggy this round? I'm more confused about Jeggy than I was about Yorion. This is not a companion we generally see in Legacy. Land sometimes plays it just because they can, but conventional wisdom is that it's worse than a sideboard card most of the time. But I'll keep my hand, see what we're up against. Unclaimed territory. Naming Elk? Oh, Sliver. You're not Daniel Nunez. Who is this person? Okay, this is a Force of Will Wasteland deck. I have some concerns for my safety. I think that Chalice of the Void on 1 is not important. I'm going to get Grim Monolith. I want my mana under me. And most of the good cards in their deck cost 2 anyway. And if they wasteland me, I'm going to be happy. I played the Grim Monolith like so. Vile. Okay, that's fine. Karn shuts that off. And they get in for 1. Honorary Sliver, Gigantha the Wellspring. My deck does randomly have 1 basic land in it, and it's currently in my hand. So I like those odds. I don't like Chalice on 0. These are all free untaps next turn. I'm going to play around Wasteland as much as I can. Play Thran Dynamo and then Chalice on 1. I have 5 mana to play Paradox Engine next turn, and I have 2 Chalice on 0s I can fire for untaps. We'll see if that's helpful. Or if I'm dead by then. Muscle Sliver. And Muscle Sliver makes me so happy as a Magic player. This was when I started playing Tempest. And I was aware of the game for a year or so before that, but when I really started, mowing the lawn for money and having my own cards, that was a big part of it. Tempest was where we were at the time. Paradox Engine. And I could spew off a Chalice on 0, get some untaps, and then play a Chalice on 2. That actually sounds good. A Chalice on 0, get the untaps. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Chalice on 2. And then I Inventor's Fair and go off next turn, is the plan. But yeah, Tempest, big memories. I was a kid, we love slivers. Kids still love slivers. Grown-ups love slivers too. Everyone loves slivers. And Muscle Sliver was just a common in that set and really accessible. Aether Vial, what do we got? Please don't have main deck Collector for some bullshit. Okay. Just in for 6. I can handle this. I am dead on board if I don't win. But I hope I'm able to win. Like any spell that buys me an untap here, that's not it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Activate Fair with 2 floating. I can play the thing, and then we're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sacrifice Inventor's Fair. I have exactly enough to get the party going, as long as the top of my deck cooperates at all. Which I know is a big ask. And they could also force a will if they've been sandbagging that one on me. Come on, any spell. Oh, a good spell. Not even any spell. The friggin' engine. Let's go. Ugin the Ineffable. I can manifest that City of Traders. I think I'd rather save my Ugin activation and use Mystic Forge first, though. But I can clear the top 2 cards on my deck. Uh-oh. Manifest that one. And we're back in. Another spell. It's gonna get countered, but it gets out of the way. Oh no. I could lose here. Oh wait, no. I have Mystic Forge for another clear. Come on, spells. No! Oh my god. We're gonna whiff and die. This hurts. Okay, if they have any sliver, or any pumping sliver, I guess pumping or evasion are bad for me, which are most of their deck, so I could just die right now. If I can chump block and be at 1 going into my turn, that works. 3 mana, Jaggy in hand. Okay, I don't care about that. Back me down to 1. They could still vial in combat, and I'm not safe yet just because they're going to combat. Ooh, if they dedicate any effort to Ugin. Alright, no, all at me. Block. Yep, I'm at 1, and my cheeks are clenched. Please don't activate either vial right now. No! God, slivers are so good. Okay, yep. They got me. Yeah, all it took was 4 lands, 5 lands out of the top 6 cards in my deck. Batterskull, Ensnaring Bridge definitely for this. Batterskull I think I'd rather have in the Karn box, but Karn can wish for Ensnaring Bridge if I need that. Like, just jamming Batterskull seems reasonable. And they're an Aether Vial Cavern of Souls deck. Chalice is medium. They're a Wasteland deck, so Pithing Needle's fine. Pithing Needle hits Wasteland and Chalice, and Vial. Yeah, I'm gonna back off my Chalices a little bit. As we saw that game, they did nothing at all. And oh, I think I want Ballista in over the last Chalice. Just 0 Chalice gamer. Walking Ballista is a creature that can engage. Let's do it. Okay, this is a Urza's Saga Pithing Needle Wasteland start. I think I can roll with this. I mean, there are worlds where this hand just gets run over and I never do anything, but also there are worlds where my Saga tokens stabilize and we are doing fine. Needle on Wasteland. Shields up. Territory on Sliver, Aether Vial, Inventor's Fair. I think I just play City of Traders and let this Saga run its course. There's a Cavern. Bristlent Sliver. Their slivers have Shroud. Or all slivers have Shroud, excuse me. In case there are any in my deck that I forgot about. Construct token. Arn the Great Creator. Oh. Does this switch what I'm going to do this turn? I don't think so. Like, my constructs are bigger than their stuff for at least another turn. Let's roll with that for now. And I can tutor the other Pithing Needle. They were wise. Filed in response. So there's that first strike. Busted. Okay, if I get a key, I can just shred here. I'm gonna get key. Inventor's Fair is already in my hand. City of Traders kills City of Traders. Grim Monolith. Make zillions. Play another Grim Monolith. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Karn the Great Creator. Who is immediately going to turn off Aether Vial and get Liquid Metal Coating, which I will deploy. And attack my opponent for 7. I don't think they're winning this race. And then I'm going to turn off their Cavern in their upkeep. And they need to beat this board with 1 mana and no Aether Vial. Bang. There's a Wasteland. I don't care about Muscle Sliver. They can put Karn to 1 if they're willing to lose their Crystalline Sliver. They can also hold back 7 power worth of First Strike, as if that my creatures are not going to get bigger. Oh, baby. Alright, what do I do here? Karn can get a... Do I care if Karn even gets anything? Maybe I could just start killing their lands. It's pretty good. And then I guess I can't even slowly build up because City of Traders sucks. Yeah, I'm just going to start killing their lands. Plus Karn after making it into an artifact. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I can play Aetherflux Reservoir this turn. This is an exciting Magic the Gathering card to have in play. And I'll play Inventor's Fair so I can start gaining life. Stay out of range. And I probably should have attacked there. They have to block at least one of them. But then they can crack back on Karn, then I lose Karn, and then Vials on, and then maybe this falls apart somehow. Yeah, I'm pretty safe right now, unless they have something like Force of Vigor, which they have not indicated at this point that they have. There is also Harmonic Sliver, the card that could exist. Boy, that would suck. Please don't have that. Another Striking Sliver. And what I have to assume is another Muscle Sliver. Okay. The team is not big enough in going wide or going tall to actually kill Karn here. They can lose Crystalline Sliver and Muscle Sliver to put Karn to 1. Pretty bad, though. Unless they think Karn is about to wish for something that kills them, in which case they can delete most of their squad to stop that. Okay, we're just going to my turn. I gain a life. Batter Skull. 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 4 mana here. What's in my Karn board? Probably time to just get Ensnaring Bridge and stop caring about anything. Thespian Stage. Untap Grim Monolith. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, because they have First Strike, they can kill my construct before my other one deals damage. They can actually just eat my squad for free if I attack here. So guess what I'm not going to do? I'm going to get Ensnaring Bridge from my sideboard. I'm going to simply not let anyone attack anymore. And I gain a life because I cast a spell. Sick. And I'm going to Liquimetal Coating their Cavern in the upkeep. If I can keep them off 3 mana and Harmonic Sliver, then I feel like we're pretty locked up here. Force of Vigor is the other thing I have to think about. Up there. Maintaining 3 mana here, even through my multiple land destruction objects. Sinew Sliver I don't care about, and now they're Hellbent. Cool. Alright. Begin the rebuilding process. Expedition map. Okay. Liquimetal Coating kills Sliver Hive. That one has other text on it, and it's not like I'm countering their spells for Cavern anyway. And Expedition map. Gain a life from Reservoir. And I'll pass the turn. I'll use Key to untap Monolith in the end step, and then we're in business on Paradox Engine out of the sideboard if I want that. Okay, cool. They've had enough. They don't need to see more. Nice. All right, we took turns basically goldfishing on each other. And I like the way the deck is constructed. Submit. My hand is explosive. I'm going to rock with it. Keep. Turn 1 Mystic Forge, we keep those. We have not seen a Force of Will out of my opponent yet, which is a card that Slivers usually plays. Cool thing is, City of Traders dies anyway, so I don't even care if it gets wastelanded. Manifold Key. Untap my Monolith. And Mystic Forge. Ancient Tomb on top of my deck. Probably don't want that, but we'll see what's going on next turn. Second Vial. And a Wasteland. Okay, they've wasted me. I'm wasted. Does drawing Ancient Tomb matter? And it's leaving the top of my deck anyway, and having a Soul Land could change the clock at some point, so yeah, I'll just leave it there. Not going to lose the 1. Then I can Urza's Saga. I guess I should lose the 1 now. See if I spike some castable thing. Nope. Alright, Urza's Saga it is. Next turn, I can slam Paradox Engine. Oh, they have a 1-drop Sliver. Gale Rider, uh-oh. That's one of the real good ones. And now the last question is, do you have like Collector Oof or some juke creature in your sideboard that messes me up here real bad? There's the Crystalline, Violon 1, plated. I'm gonna untap my Monolith in response to Violon 2 just in case it's Collector Roof, but I hope it's not. Predator, Sliver, okay. Chips are down. Here they are. How about some spells, deck? There are some in the deck, I'm pretty sure. Ugin on top of the deck. I do quite like that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there some version of events where I get Paradox Engine down first? This is 5, and then there's another 3. Urza's Workshop is the same as Ancient Tomb right now, but doesn't hurt me, so that one's probably better. And their slivers fly, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Even if they draw another Lord, that doesn't kill me in one shot. So I have an investment turn if I want to take it here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Urza's Workshop. 4, 5. So I can go 5 mana here and play Paradox Engine, and then start my next turn with all my stuff untapped. Okay. I am just going to hope that this works. And pass the turn. Just don't draw Harmonic Sliver. Or Collector Roof. Okay, first strike Sliver I don't care about. We're going to get a shot at our combo. Here's a bunch of damage. And untap Monolith in the end step. Start with the whole everything available to me. Don't get too excited about the top of my deck because it's about to be shuffled away. And I don't believe a construct matters here. I'm just going to float. And I'm going to float off Urza's Workshop as well because I currently have 2 Urza lands and I might not later. I think it's just Manifold Key here. Make sure I cast as many spells as possible in a turn. A Blast Zone on top of my deck sucks ass. 1, 2, 3. Little extra clicking here because my keys require extra steps to get paid with my Paradox thing. And I can tap Mystic Forge, get rid of this Blast Zone. Oh, Ugin on top. Alright, well, let's start there. There are 4 Ugins in this deck. I get to clear a lot of cards off the top of my deck right now. I'm going to manifest with Ugin first. And then Mystic Forge, exile this Urza Saga, Manifold Key, and begin the clickities. Manifold Key off the top, Batterskull's there now, and we're going nuts. Cast Batterskull with 20 mana in the pool. Just gotta find a Karn or a Ballista, and then we win. Another Paradox Engine. I mean, that's a legend, but it does make a ton of mana, so I'm not going to clear it. It sucks that my opponent saw me whiff game 1, so they can't just concede here. I respect it. I'm also at 6, so I don't have infinite clears off Mystic Forge. Second Paradox Engine. Oh, I should have cleared that in response. Whoops. I was busy thinking about my life total. Well, hope I'm not punished for this. Exile Urza's Workshop down to 5. Okay, that is a thing that I could have cleared but didn't. Luckily I have 2 Ugins, so I can clear the next 4 cards if I need to. Because that's 2 spells for untaps, 2 manifests with Ugin. Okay, re-Ugin. Untap all my stuff. New Ugin. Gonna manifest first to protect my life total. Still an Urza Saga there. Go to 4. Still a land there. Alright. It would be a real shame to brick this combo from here. Especially since I made a mistake. Makes it even worse. Okay, third Ugin. Is this the correct Ugin? Kinda wish it was the other Ugin. Manifest this land. Walking Ballista, GG. Okay. We did it, team. Successfully stormed him out. We presented the combo all 3 games. We won 2 of them, and we bricked on the first one. Okay, Walking Ballista. Get in here for 21. My opponent can see all this mana leaving my mana pool in little clicks. They know it's coming. Boom. With another Ballista on top. Are we done? Do we have to do this? Okay, cool. I don't blame them for making me show them a win condition, and I appreciate the scoop once it was there. Storming out while dead on board. Let's go.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play for round number 3, and kind of an awkward hand with Manifold Key and Chalice of the Void in it. I am going to keep this hand. I think I'm going to Saga Key and then see what happens, because Key gives me the best chance of executing my plan. I think if this were Ancient Tomb, I would Saga or Chalice. But because the Saga coming into play would kill the city on turn 2 anyway, it's not like that's a plan I can dig into. Manifold Key and pass. This is where their Storm or Acast and Chalice on 0 would have killed them. A Forest and a Mana Bond. Okay, well, Chalice on 1 probably would have killed them, and I might die now. Both fast bond lands. How bad is it? Ooh, no trigger. I'll take that. Sweet relief. And here, the investment is paying off. 1, 2, Grim Monolith. 1, 2, 3, Untap Monolith. And 4, 5, 6. Do I want Ugin here? Oh, wait. 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I have exactly enough to Ugin here. Yeah, I want Ugin here. How about this shit? Watch this. Behold. Ugin. Chalice costs 2 less, which means I can Chalice on 1 for 0 mana. Chalice on 1. And destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colors. How about this fast bond that you didn't use? Get out of here. That was a good turn. Invest in success, kids. Put something in the old savings account with Manifold Key, because someday Grim Monolith markets will open up again. Pew pew. Okay, we're playing against 8 Mulch or some hyper-fast land strategy. Leyline of the Void could matter here if they go into a loam zone. But if they don't go into a loam zone, they could just crap out a bunch of stuff that beats me up front. I think Chalice of the Void is actually bad in this matchup, despite being insane there. On the draw. On the play, I think I'm bringing them back in, but on the draw, I mean, these ley lines are bricks. Should I be expecting Collector Oof out of them? I should certainly be expecting Force of Vigor. Pithing Needle on Wasteland is really good against their deck. Is there another cut I'm happy with? I think I want to go fast here. And I always want to go fast, that's what this deck is. But what is the slowest card here? Do I cut an Ugin? That's just kind of the expensive top end here when I'm trying to get low. Kind of sucks to cut a payoff, but I don't think I can cut a Paradox Engine. And I do want the Needle. The other option here is don't bring in the ley lines. Leave my Ugin and just pick some random artifacts. This hand is full of bangers. Does not accelerate this Grim Monolith, though. This is so close to a hand I want to keep. So I will. I wish this hand had Ancient Tomb in it, but beyond that, it's mostly doing stuff that I'm happy with. Mystic Forge, whatever. I'm going to play the Mishra's Workshop out and just pass. Cycling Tranquil Thicket in the end step. You got it. Wasteland, no surprise. That was a thing. That's why I played the land that I cared the least about dying. Play Land of the Void right on time. This is the thing I said I didn't want to happen when I boarded that card in. But we're chilling. See how many wastelands they have. They didn't explore or mana bond here. Ghost Quarter. I do have a basic. Please bet against. Nice. Just good deck building. Island comes into play. You're down a land and I'm not. Nothing I can do with my floating mana, unfortunately. Alright, let's draw a key right now and go completely bonkers. Ancient Tomb, that also goes bonkers. Ancient Tomb gets me Grim Monolith, which gets me Thran Dynamo. Or is Karn better here? Karn might be better. And I'm worried about Force of Vigor. Yeah, Karn is just such a piece of crap for decks to have to deal with. I'm going to lead on that one. And I'm going to grab the coating. Just let them know they're on notice here. Liquid metal coating. Better figure out your life over there or it will end quickly. Haze of Ith, okay. Life from the Loam targeting 3 lands. And they cannot accelerate those land drops, and I'm about to kill Yavimaya. Don't think I'm worried here. Unless they've been holding back a Fast Bond, which I can play around. So if I play Urza Saga, and there's a pause, okay. I'm gonna play the coding. Oh shit, I fucked this turn up. I was thinking that I was gonna wish for Chalice on one, but if I wish, then I can't Karn. Yeah, I should have Thran Dynamo in play, and I just don't. God, that was bad. Okay. I was busy thinking about all the smart, clever things I can do and missed the actual play that I'm capable of. But cutting them down to 0 mana versus Karn. Okay, sure. Force of Vigor, pitching Mulch. No surprise there. And now I desperately wish I had a Thran Dynamo in play because holy crap. I know their hand has Wasteland and Ghost Quarter in it, but they passed the turn. I'm getting a shot here. I don't deserve it, but I'm getting it. Urza Saga go in. Thran Dynamo, hit the stack. What can Urza wish for that Thran Dynamo is good with? I could play that Chalice on 1 now, make sure I don't get mana bonded out. Stone Brain, I don't have enough for that. Okay, minus. Yes. I think I do want a Chalice on 1 here. Because I think my Thran Dynamo plus Karn is gonna mess them up if they can't start making more than 1 land drop per turn. And I can play Mystic Forge next turn. They have a second Force of Vigor, that sucks. Force of Vigor, pitching Exploration, killing Saga and Dynamo. Okay. Yep. They settle back into the Wasteland game here. That hurts. There's Wasteland, taking out my Tomb. Now I'm locked out of my own Manifold keys. Oh my god. Karn, do I need you in play? Yeah, I guess. Plus target nothing. And play City of Traders. It's tough in these streets right now. The double Force of Vigor. Their hand is Ghost Quarter and some other land that I saw earlier this game and forgot about. There's the Ghost Quarter. Please go after the City of Traders and not the island. Built. Oh, that's gone, and there is no additional replacement for it. Thespian Stage. That card is not good right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get a Mystic Forge into play. Just get the engine going. I could have used this for to untap Grim Monolith, but I don't think that's where I want to be. And Karn. I think it's time to get the Tormod's Crypt to make sure they can't loam. Tormod's Crypt. And I'm going to zap all this stuff out of their graveyard right now. There's a loam there. Wasteland, Ghost Quarter. Let's put an end to all of that. Thespian Stage from you. And loam targeting nothing. Okay, they're getting their Dredge engine back online. Thespian Stage on top of my deck. Not... I mean, it's not good. Yeah, I'll pitch it. Exile that. Aetherflux Reservoir. Okay. There's a someday plan for that one. Okay, float 2 off City of Traders. Play Thespian Stage. Do I want to copy City of Traders before it dies to have 2 mana? That would be the same as not even playing Thespian Stage. Alright, yeah, I'm going to stage copy their Tranquil Thicket. Oh, I need to plus Karn. Do not forget. Plus Karn on nothing. And the option to just bash them for 4 with Mystic Forge isn't there because of Maze of Ith, and they dredged and immediately hit a Wasteland. RNGesus be praised. There was no basic land for me to copy with the stage, so my clever plays are not actually clever. Aetherflux Reservoir, not helping me here. What even is helping me here? I'm going to clear this card, though. Manifold Key, locked out by my own nonsense. Plus Karn, target nothing. Or I could target my own Chalice, but I can do that next turn. Okay. I have an out to Chalice if I need it. Which I probably will. Dredged. Oh god, they hit Boseiju to go with their Wasteland. This is outrageous. Alright, I think my my time in this game is coming to an end. Wasteland Boseiju in hand. Activate Forge in the upkeep. I don't want another Forge. I would love... Oh god, there was just another Forge on top. And... Is there anything left to wish for with Karn? This is just pain and misery at this point. Alright, plus target nothing. And pass the turn once again. I have to get Lattice into play somehow without... Like, while dodging Wasteland and Boseiju. Seems difficult. Stony Silence revealed off this dredge. That's not what I want to think about for future games. Ugin can kill that if I can ever play Ugin with a Stony Silence to play, which seems unlikely. Boseiju-ing my Mystic Forge. Yeah, that's a good call. I would like to use the ability, not because I have anything to get, but because I know my top card in my deck is not good. Wasteland, just ready. You know, a land is still a good draw, though. Jesus, okay. Land is probably not even a good draw anymore. Do I have any lands in exile? Oh, Thespian Stage, but that's not an artifact. I can't get that. Yeah, I don't have, like, one Darksteel Citadel in the sideboard. Sometimes Karn decks do that. I'm not one of those Karn decks. Just gonna plus on nothing once again. They did not dredge Loam. Oh, that's because Loam's in their hand already. Alright, they're gonna cast Loam, which can get back Forest and Boseiju, and they can Boseiju again. Let's hope they prioritize Chalice over Grim Monolith with Boseiju. I drew the land after, it doesn't matter anymore. Okay, kill my own Chalice. Blast Zone, Manifold Key, and now they have Boseiju up to kill Grim Monolith, if it even were to matter, which it won't. Okay, I'm actually content with this game. We're good. You did it. That sucked. Alright, now we gotta get one on the play. Crop Rotation and all the exploration effects cost 1, and on the play, this is a more effective thing than it is on the draw. I do like needling Wasteland and Boseiju, but I think going down one of those, and in Leyline of the Void would have turned off the nonsense, but it was also just a card I drew that bricked me forever. I'm off Leyline. I'm just going to try to go fast in the main, or on the play. Needles back in, because I have all the room. Chalice is back in. Let's do it. This is a turn 2 Karn. I'll keep. Force of Vigor is just a nightmare. I don't play Defense Grid or anything that can counterplay that. It's just my Planeswalkers. Grim Monolith, the opponent also kept 7. Not cool. Windswept Teeth, where are we going with this? Exploration, that's not a great place to go for me. Blast Zone, that one's okay. It's not Wasteland, count it. Bonus card, bam, 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 bam. What do I do with this? Paradox Engine does not really go anywhere right now. Force of Vigor is gonna ruin my life no matter when it shows up. Okay, I'm gonna cast a Karn. And I think I'm gonna get Liquid Metal Coating, but not play it yet. It has to be an artifact. I can't get Ugin. I'm gonna grab Coating. Oh, if I play Coating, I can get a Rashad and Port-esque activation here, but then it gives them good hits for Force of Vigor. Yeah, I'm just going to hold back. I don't think that's going to be a game-winning play anyway. Maybe I can get some Paradox Engine, Mycosynth Lattice thing going if they don't respect my Grim Monolith. Binding Way. That put Ghost Quarter and Scattered Grove into their hands. Ghost Quarter, they know I have an island. See if they want to take me off what they can take me off here. Just playing the 2 lands they just found, that's scary. Kind of hope they do Ghost Quarter me, because that will take them off. Oh no, they can't Force the Vigor anyway. Yeah, if we just get to my turn, I think we shove Lattice and win. Because they don't have 4 mana to float right now, because they spent mana on their turn for Force of Vigor. And Lattice makes things colorless, so you can't pitch cast it anymore. And then they have to win with Field of the Dead and land drops. They did Ghost Quarter. I'll get the island. And we'll see if they want to Force of Vigor as soon as we get to my upkeep, because if we get to my main phase, we got this. Oh, there's a pause on my upkeep. I hate it. Stop. Shit. Alright. That is the correct amount of respect for what I'm threatening. Okay, that's gone. And Urza's Workshop or Inventor's Fair. Urza's Workshop sounds good to me. Liquid Metal Coating. Now I'll start killing their lands. I have played patiently in a way that allowed me to get to a spot like this where Force of Vigor was a 2-for-1. Oh, I mean, it did stop them from losing the game on the spot, which is pretty good. But still, I mean, we're doing stuff here. Verdant Catacombs, Maze of It. None of those are Life from the Loam. Those also don't hardcast Force of Vigor. Blast Zone, none of these ramp an extra mana. At least not in the current state. The Urza's Workshops are not quite there. Gonna go after Scattered Groves with Karn. It's attacking green sources. I don't care if they float mana, whatever. Drop Rotate. They were gonna do that anyway. Rising Canopy. That's another card that goes to the graveyard. Urza's Workshop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Paradox Engine. Load it. Here it is. It is a 5/5 attacker. If I need it, I can blow up Maze of Myth next, and I'm back to threatening 6 mana with Karn. So they're going to have to either have an answer in their 1-card hand or dig one up real quick. If they're charging Blast Zone, that doesn't matter, because I don't need to Liquid Metal Coating if all their shit is dead. Life from the Loam, targeting Scattered Groves, Verdant Catacombs, and Ghost Quarter. Okay, I mean, the Ghost Quarter is a problem. That will take me off Lattice for a turn, but I can get Tormod's Crypt now. Okay, they're going after Workshop. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That is mostly the same as Ancient Tomb, except doesn't hurt me. Might be better, actually. Draw for turn. Alright, that's a friggin' banger. Okay. Karn. Minus. I'm gonna go off here. Gonna get this Tormod's Crypt. And then 1, 2. Okay, hold up. Gonna freeze one of your lands. Because I get to untap this thing. I can freeze all of their lands if I need to. For Monolith. Untap my stuff. And then I'm going to Liquid Metal Coating the Verdant Catacombs as well. Fetching in response. A reasonable thing to do. Then float 3. Play Tormod's Crypt. Untap all my stuff. Tormod's Crypt resolves. Coat the Forest. Okay, I have 3 floating right now. 4, 5, 6. Other Karn. Untap my stuff. Mindbreak Trap, no! Wow, that was annoying. Okay. Tormod's Crypt kills the Loam and the Ghost Quarter. And we're just kind of back where we started. Cycling Scattered Groves in response to Tormod's Crypt. Make sure that one gets exiled too. Oh, they dredge Loam. Got it. Okay, Inventor's Fair. I can play and activate 1, 2, 3. I have 1 floating when this is done. I think I'd rather have, so they have 1 card in hand and it's Loam. They dredged Loam in response to the thing. And if I tutor right now, it would have to rip a Wasteland to stop me. I think I grab a Mystic Forge here and pass the turn. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. Party's over for now. Oh, they have Blast Zone. Jesus. Mistakes have been made. Alright, if they're going to Blast Zone me, they have to do it now and tap out their whole turn to do it. That's the deal I'm proposing. They're taking the deal. That's done. All of Heliod, and the last card in their hand is Loam. Okay. What do I do with all this? What's an exile? Something's an exile. It's a Karn. Right, Mindbreak Trap. That happened. My sideboard. And the lattice is over there. I think I just play Mystic Forge here and see where that goes. Forge, Chalice. Do I even want a Chalice on 0? And so if I exile the Chalice, I mean, wishing for Chalice doesn't do anything. And I might as well play this. It's just a card I can get through. I immediately drew the Mox Opal. What the hell? That is the next card that I would have liked. Alright, well, that's gone too. There's another Chalice under there. Yeah, I'm just shredding through my deck right now. Let's find some action somewhere. Blast Zone. I don't want that. I don't want the City of Traders either. I can play Blast Zone, and Karn can make a wish. Or I do want City of Traders. Alright. Plus Karn on nothing. And pass the turn. They're on notice. I can lattice them next turn with the City of Traders. Go. Play from the Loam in your hand. Question mark. Are you going to draw Force of Vigor? Probably. Mulch. That's a really good draw. Thespian Stage and Yavimaya. Those are basically bricks. Putting Stony Silence and Mindbreak Trap in the graveyard. Play from Loam, target Blast Zone. Okay, we have perfect information now, and the information says that Lattice is good enough. This was a lot of work. Minus Karn. Yes. Mycosynth Lattice. City of Traders. 1, 2. I don't even need to take 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lattice, baby. And I believe that's the end of the game. We did it. I had a few stumbles there. Some counting that didn't quite add up, or forgetting that I can't activate Karn twice in a turn. Lost in the sauce a little bit, but still outmuscled them in 3. On to the next round. Still undefeated. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. On the draw for round 4. I have a slightly accelerated Karn, and I can Needle to make sure I don't get Wastelanded on the way there. No Chalice, no Monolith. I still think I want to keep this, though. Not knowing the matchup, just having stable mana development, powerful things to do, and counterplay against the card that worries me most, which is Wasteland. I don't know, I'm not going to throw this. Opponent's on 6, and they have a Flooded Strand. Flooded Strand could be Wasteland, or it could be nothing. Alright, I'm going to play Pithing Needle, and if they don't fetch in response, I will name Flooded Strand. If they do, I'll see more about their deck. They fetch a Tundra or Tundra-related object here. I'm going to name Narset, Parter of Veils. Don't think this is going to be a Wasteland deck. It's a Fairy Time Raveler, also a reasonable thing to name. Shark Typhoon, not that common, but if they are a Shark Typhoon deck, Needle's good against them. This might just soak up a Prismatic Ending and we move on with our lives. I don't know. We'll find out soon. Blue and white. I would love a Chalice of the Void. I would like a Grim Monolith too. Okay. Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith, Karn is the play here. They're probably a counterspell deck, but let's start testing it. Alright, we're in there with the Karn. I'm gonna get the coding and just demand some sort of response immediately. Even like Emergency Snapcaster Mage doesn't beat me here. Oh, we are... Yikes. I hope they're on Shuko and not Nomad. We're breakfast. Shuko, Shuko, Shuko. Or just pass the turn. That would work too. Oh no! Don't do it! Don't do it! Fuck! Alright, I mean, they did a really good job hiding their information. I could have just put Walking Ballista into play. I could have wished for a Tormod script. There's a bunch of things I could have done here that would have been better than this. I just want to see what their deck looks like. Man, Breakfast is so good. Stoneforge Mystic is their backup plan. We got some Stoneforge Mystics. We got a Cauldra. There's Thassa's Oracle, Android Return. I don't see a Cabal Therapy. Could be in their hand, or... Hold up. Tundra, Prismatic Vista. Are you just blue-white and you don't have any? Either Therapy's in their hand or they just don't play it at all. I mean, I'm scanning kind of quickly here, but I don't see an Underground Sea either. Yeah, I mean, you win, but interesting. Okay. That's the power of hidden information. I had at least 3 different ways to counterplay that in my hand and in play, and just did not do any of them. The Walking Ballista and Needle are coming in. Chalice of the Void is very good. Expedition Map's part of my combo. I think Paradox Engine can chill. Oh, Leyline of the Void, yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah, that's an angle I would probably like to cover, though I don't know that we necessarily need it. Aetherflux Reservoir in the sideboard. I can wish for that if it becomes appropriate or necessary. Yeah, I'll cut Map as well. I'm going down to 1 engine. I think I got a turtle up first, then worry about everything else later. And Ugin, kind of. If I'm not shredding quite that hard, Ugin can chill. Alright. Kind of an aggressive plan here, but it's a matchup that is fast and about one thing primarily, and then we worry about other things after that. I'll keep this Leyline hand. That at least covers some of the speed concerns they have to deal with Leyline before they can just go off. And the deck does other things. With Prismatic Vista in their mana base and just being pure blue-white, they might even have back to basics out of the sideboard, which is not something that normal Breakfast does. Where's this Workshop? Grim Monolith. Begin the slow grind. Ascend my mana count. Ascend. Days, okay. And my hand's full of lands. This is fine. Just replayed their island and sent it. And Mystic Forge. I think Karn is more important, so if they're going to be like dazing random spells, I'll play this one first. Force of Negation, pitching Force of Will. Okay. Force of Negation is funny because now I can wish for that with Karn. And they made it clear they're out of dazes. Force of Negation, pitching Force of Will might indicate they have... Oh shit. Ball Therapy. Don't name Karn. Don't name Karn. But Karn is a really good card to name. Shit. This is actually a really easy Cabal Therapy, and I hope they miss. Yep, Karn the Great Creator. Disappointed. My opponent had an easy play and did it correctly. It's not fair. Alright, let me just draw another card. Thoughtseize Bug. Manifold Key. I'll float that into play. Someday I'll draw a card. I'm going to charge up one of these Blast Zones with Ancient Tomb in their end step. That covers Stoneforge Mystic and Cephalid Illusionist if they're on Shuko. I'm finding Urza Saga sucks. So they did have Cabal Therapy in their hand last game, by the way. It was there. It was in the deck. Oh my god. Life is pain. I'm going to lose to this Urza Saga. It's just going to deal 6 to me twice, and then I lose. Another Manifold Key, and I'm Hellbent to boot. Okay, I'm not going to play out the second key, because if I need to Blast Zone for 1 to clear out like a Shadow Spear or Shuko or something, I don't want to lose a second key while I do it. Brainstorm in my end step. I'm really jealous. It's a good card that my deck is lacking. There's that. And they get a tutor. They did get Shuko. They did not equip Shuko. They don't want the extra point of damage, I guess. I could Blast Zone now, kill Shuko. That saves me damage. But at the cost of key, I think I want to spend another turn seeing if I can cash out this key somehow before I start blasting my zones. Basic Swamp too. I probably just didn't look closely enough at this deck last game. A lot of cards that I thought they didn't have. The Basic Swamp, like, almost confirms back to basics, but what the hell is this Mana Confluence doing in here? Okay, they learned how Equip works. Gonna blow up the Blast Zone. Kills one of my keys, but also takes 3 damage off this board. Now they're chilling over there with 5 cards in their hand. I continue to draw lands. Blast Zone coming into play on 1 counter and not 0 is such a beating. That was probably a buff for Standard, but it's a huge loss for Legacy. Fairy, that can bounce my ley line, which I have no way to put back into play. Yep, coast is clear. Go nuts. And basically dead to my own Ancient Tombs at this point. Opponent 6 cards in hand, and haven't played a land, which means it's all spells. Play Thran Dynamo. And I will try to win the game at 1 life through 7 cards in their hand. Seems unlikely. Brainstorm in the end step, just to rub in how much more fun their deck is than mine. My deck's fun, but they are having more fun than me right now. Step through, okay. Tutoring up Illusionist. There's Nomads. I still have a Blast Zone on 1. Alright, I'm going to blow my Blast Zone on 1, kill Nomads, then Illusionist sits in play. I think they played a land this turn. Okay. I'm at 1. Come on. Eater of a card. I don't even know what it needs to be, but let's draw it. Karn, maybe. Certainly not Grim Monolith. Okay. Massive Flood. They had 2 counter spells and a discard spell that picked apart my start, and then I drew exclusively mana sources from there. The only things I played this game that were not counters, or that were not mana sources, were Karn the Great Creator and Mystic Forge, and everything else was, as you see. Okay, GG's. The Trophy Dream is dead. On to the final round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play in the final round against Arkin. Arkin says hello, YouTube. Hello, Arkin stream. I got a mulligan this one. It just doesn't do anything quick enough. This one does accelerate Urza Saga and Pithing Needle's Wasteland. I'm going to keep it and bottom Reservoir, probably. Yeah, alright. Okay, I'm just going to Saga and Needle Wasteland out of Abundance of Caution. Wasteland. That's the turn. In Arkin stream, so he could be doing anything, but lately he's been into the Rhino Cascade, and before that he was in all sorts of Turbo Atraxa shells. In this case, though, he just bottomed a Preordain. And have to play City of Traders here. Urza's Workshop, not Metalcraft, unfortunately. That was almost very exciting. Brainstorm. Bottom Preordain, Brainstorm. Oh, miss your land drop and concede. That's what I want here. Anytime I see a line like this. Okay, that's not what happened. That's lucky. Make a construct. And I think I want to make a construct tutor Mox Opal here. I want to let this run to full maturity and see what he can do about it before I goof around with anything else. Expedition Map is kind of tempting over Mox Opal. Will that make more mana overall? Not for a while. Alright, Mox Opal it is. And I'm going to throw away my City of Traders to push damage. Kind of just on this aggro draw, and I'm going to run with it. He's on Show and Tell. Like, Preordain is not normally in fair decks. If we just go Show and Tell, I'll put in probably Mystic Forge is better than Paradox Engine. Try to make something happen. Ooh, a tropical island. This could be some Turbo Atraxa pile. Lotus Petal. We're accelerating. Could get Omni shown right out of this game. Omni shown the door. Am I right? Eureka. So this is permanent, so I can just put my whole hand into play. And hope it's better than his. I mean, if he's got an Omniscience, we're just dead. He said, don't scoop until it resolves. Apparently, if you scoop in the middle of Eureka resolving, there's a bug. Alright, sure. Paradox Engine. Ugin. Alright, here's my hand. I'm not going to scoop. I don't even know that I've lost this game necessarily. There's Omniscience. Luckily, it showed up after. Already used his land drop. Oh shit. Lotus Petal, Show and Tell, Omniscience. But if he had more permanents, he would have deployed them. So here's Show and Tell, gonna put in Omniscience. I'm out of gas. You know I'm out of gas. You get a Brainstorm here and hope it misses, I guess, is what is my out. Oh, right. You got to draw 7 with Griselbrand. You're not gonna miss. Forgot about that one. Man, friggin' Atraxa hitting the bonus mana source and Omniscience after we were out to beat a Eureka. This is an outrage. Maybe I'll miss. Just whiff somehow. I don't even know how it's possible, but did choose to shuffle the library off that Ponder. A second Eureka, yeah, whatever. Have fun. This puts all your lands into play. And more Omnisciences. Okay. That gives you shuffles for Brainstorm, I guess. Mystic Sanctuary puts Ponder on top. Okay. And we Brainstorm into Ponder, get some extra looks. You fetch too many times. Walking Ballista is on the board. Whiff, 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 whiff. Alright, down to 1. There's a Ponder in hand still. Shuffle the Ponder. Pass the turn. Shuffle, pass, shuffle, pass, shuffle, pass. Did not shuffle. Shit. Alright, Atraxa. Atraxa number 2. Whiff, 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 whiff. Another Atraxa and a bunch more cantrips. Unlikely to whiff, but let's see where this is going. Preordain. Atraxa. Right, bottom, the Preordain. And Griselbrand, Emrakul. Boo! Boo! Just had to look at your whole deck twice. Whatever. Okay. You figured it out. Good job. Okay. Stone Brain. Ensnaring Bridge. In Ensnaring Bridge, I'll bring in Needle. What does Needle do? I could just name random blue fetch lands. Name Griselbrand. Name of Griselbrand actually matters a lot. I actually think I win that game if I Needle Griselbrand instead of Wasteland, but I didn't know. And Chalice of the Void on 1 actually seems crushing in this matchup. Paradox Engine can back off a little bit. Don't really want to shave a Manifold Key, but at the same time, I'm on this Chalice plan, and this just seems like a lot of 1s. Alright, maybe Ensnaring Bridge does not belong in the main deck. I just moved a lot of cards around to end up boarding out a Paradox Engine for a Pithing Needle. Okay, turn 1 Chalice on 1. Give it to me. Chalice on 0 would have been fine that game too, because he needed Lotus Petal to keep the hits coming after the first Eureka. Chalice on 1. We're in there. Is he reinforced? You're not going to do anything with that, I'm quite sure. Oh. Alright, going straight for Karn now that it's available. And Karn is going to look for... I think it's just getting Coding, or I could get Stonebrain and name Atraxa. That's interesting. Though I might just lose before that even happens. Yeah, I'm going to get Coding. Just try to prison him out the normal way. Lotus Petal doesn't work now because I have Karn. Yeah, we're just getting Shown and Told. Okay, Show and Tell puts in... If it's Omniscience, I lose. I'll put in Urza Saga. Got a Griselbrand. Digging for counterspells is pretty effective here. Okay, so I have to get Ensnaring Bridge into play somehow. Liquid Metal Coating. I'll start there. I can coat the Griselbrand. Still ends up drawing a million cards in response. That's in. Now coating Griselbrand doesn't matter. I guess I have to wish for Ensnaring Bridge here and hope I'm alive. Okay, I'm gonna get Ensnaring Bridge. And play Urza's Workshop. Then what happens next? You attack me, all my stuff dies, or Karn dies, or I go to 5. Either way, not good. I just lose to Force of Will if I play this, but if I don't play it, then you can't show and tell again. I don't know. I'm not happy with this arrangement. I'm gonna coat the Ancient Tomb in the upkeep. Try to restrict mana wherever I can. See if I can beat a Grizzlebrand somehow. Attacking Karn, this unlocks the Ancient Tomb. Because it's no longer under Null Rod. Alright, show and tell. We're just shoving through show and tell Omniscience and then left to the bank. Yep, looks like it. Be hard to lose from here. If there is a single out to Ensnaring Bridge in the deck, they're likely to find it. There's a Force of Vigor. Okay, I'm good. GG. Okay, over the top by another combo deck in the final round for a 3-2 record. Good run, good start, and kind of fell off at the back end. This deck's a lot of fun. It's very powerful. We did not run into me wanting to Karn for Mystic Forge. I think that Dan's deck building instincts are correct here, and my instinct that also suspected he was correct are both confirmed. That you just want more powerful 4-mana things to do rather than wish for needing one of your engines online to wish for your second engine. That just doesn't really make sense. I don't really like how much the deck cares about Manifold Key, but also is a Chalice deck. Maybe it's just not supposed to be a Chalice deck. And obviously, Chalice with Ancient Tomb and City of Traders is powerful. It's a thing that is potent against a lot of the format. I was more interested in chalicing on 0 than 1 for most of these games, and maybe that slot could just be something else that creates more velocity or some other big payoff, some other way to draw cards, Karn Scion maybe, rather than, in addition to Karn the Great Creator. Or even like split them like 2 Karn Scions and then 2 other cheap things that help you get there. I was not expecting Chalice of the Void to be my spot of tension, because that seems like kind of a reason to play the deck. But you could put them in the sideboard, or 1 in the sideboard for Karn, or none in the sideboard at all, and just not be a Chalice deck and focus on storming out. That's my feedback for that. I mean, more games are required. I've only played 5. I don't know for sure how often that is an essential piece in a matchup, but it felt kind of irrelevant most of the time here. But the deck's fun, the deck's powerful, it does the thing, it does it pretty reliably. Force of Vigor, huge problem. Stony Silence, Collector Oof, Null Rod, huge problem. Karn Mirrors, huge problem. But we know what we signed up for with a deck like this. Dan, thank you for sharing your Colorless Storm with us. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out my Patreon, and I will see you next time.